Now live at 5, deciding Duluth's future. Voters are heading to the polls to make some big decisions today.
Why addressing accessible voting is important for the state of Minnesota.
And later, a look at how our local hospitals are getting ready to start vaccinating kids 5 to 11, some as soon as tomorrow.
You're watching Live at 5 on Live Local CBS3.
Welcome to the CBS3 News Live at 5. Here's a live look at City Hall tonight on Election Day here in Duluth. The ballots cast today could mean great turnover within the City Council. Good evening and thanks for joining us. I'm Kristen Bakke.
And I'm Briggsville Savage. Voters hit the polls bright and early this morning, casting their ballots for some pretty big races. And those polls will be open until 8 o'clock tonight. If you still need to vote, we have a link to find your polling place on our website. Let's take a look at some of those seats that are up for grabs.
There are 2 open at-large seats on the City Council. 3 candidates are running. They are Azreen Owl, Therese Timonik, and Joe McCore. In District 2, Mike Mayow is running against Dave Zabracki. District 2 includes Congdon, Endian, and the Kenwood neighborhood, plus the UMD area. In District 4, incumbent Renee Van Nett is running against former City Councilor Howie Hansen. This district includes Duluth Heights, Piedmont, and Hillside neighborhoods.
There are also a number of seats on the Duluth School Board that are up for grabs. 3 candidates are vying for 2 open at-large seats there. That's incumbent Kelly Durek-Eater, who is taking on newcomers Amber Sadowski and Lauren Martell. Voters can choose 2 names on that ballot to fill those seats. For District 1, Dana Krivogorski is challenging incumbent Rosie Loeffler-Kemp. And in District 4, Jill Lofald is holding on to her seat. She is running unopposed. For all of the latest election results as they come in, head over to our website, cbs3duluth.com. You can download our mobile app to receive alerts and keep up to date minute by minute. And of course, we'll also be bringing you the latest results on air tonight at 10.
A new Minnesota organization is trying to make it easier to vote on Election Day, no matter your obstacles. Able to Vote just started operating this year and is now connecting people with disabilities to services that help them cast their ballot. CBS 3's Abigail Smith joins us live from a Duluth polling place tonight. Abby, what kind of changes are they hoping to make?
Well, Kristen and Briggs, polling locations all over Duluth are full of voters tonight. That includes here at the Duluth Library, one of several places city leaders specifically chose for its ADA accessibility. You can see a number of parking spots here all labeled as ADA accessible, and there are more accommodations inside. But not every polling location around the state is as easy for people with disabilities to access. That's why Able to Vote was born. They provide resources and guidance for people with disabilities on how to vote and what to look out for. Organizers are hoping attention on these issues will solve what they called Minnesota's 20% voter turnout gap among people with disabilities. Able to Vote's executive director, Grace Gowker Littlefield, who has epilepsy, says the disability vote isn't as strong in Minnesota right now. She hopes her organization's work will make election results more reflective of the community's entire population.
At this point, it's a demographic that isn't as reached out to or welcomed into the civic sphere. And so we just want to make that world a little bit more, again, welcoming and hospitable to folks with disabilities.
She says some obstacles people with disabilities face include polling location issues, non-accessible parking, or polling place staff not knowing how to help or use accessible machines. They say it can also be hard finding the right kind of transportation to the polling place. And tonight at 10, we hear from Minnesota Disability Council on what the impact of that turnout gap among disability people will have.
Abigail Smith live for us tonight. Thank you, Abby.
Tonight, voters in Lake County are deciding if they want to invest tens of millions of dollars into local schools. The Lake Superior School District has a 2-question referendum on their ballot. The first asks voters if they want to dedicate $44 million to upgrade the Minnehaha Elementary School in Two Harbors and William Kelly School in Silver Bay. Because the district's debt from building the new Two Harbors High School expired, this would not have an extra impact on residents' property taxes. Voters will also decide if they want to spend more than $7 million to update athletic facilities in the district. This investment would cost someone with a $200,000 home about $3 extra a month on their property taxes. Question 1 has to pass in order for question 2 to pass.
Voters in Minneapolis are faced with a big question on their ballot tonight. They will decide whether to replace the city's police department with a new Department of Public Safety. The vote comes more than a year after George Floyd's death and movements to defund or abolish police departments across the country. Also in Minneapolis, Mayor Jacob Frey is in a tough fight for a second term. He faces more than a dozen opponents who attacked his leadership after Floyd's death. Results from the ballot question are expected tonight. However, Minneapolis uses ranked choice voting. If no candidate reaches 50% in the first round of counting, the winner would be determined tomorrow.
While it sure was cold here in the Northland today, it was a whole different scene over in Michigan's UP where lake effect snow slowed down traffic. Oh, our sister station there told us some of the snow is sticking, making for some slippery conditions out on the roads.
You know, at my house last night when I got home after work, we did have snow that was sticking. Thankfully, the roads were fine, though. Yeah. So that was good.
Well, Briggs hit it right on the head. She talked about slippery driving conditions in the UP.
Yeah.
National Weather Service office in Marquette says Gogebic County should be cautious on the roads here tonight. They put out a special weather statement. So let's take a look at the map. And that statement says hazardous driving conditions could continue overnight. You know, the snow totals are running about 2 to 4 inches for much of the UP, but since it's one of the first go-arounds, our rusty driving skills have to get back into action. So that's why we should hold back the action a little bit while cruising tonight. By tomorrow, things should start to settle down even towards the UP. The trough of lower pressure that's bringing more flurries tonight, maybe to the tune of another inch for the UP, will fade away tomorrow as that higher pressure cell from Canada takes over. Wednesday's going to be sunny but cool. Taking a look at the forecast, how cool? Well, mid-20s tonight, so flurries indeed still possible for all zones, though the best chance for accumulations will be for the Upper Peninsula. Getting into Wednesday, that high pressure brings mostly sunny skies to the area, like they tend to do, but since it's leading with its cool sector, temperatures will be cooler than normal, topping out in the upper 30s for a lot of towns. But the backside of the high, with its reverse flow, and warmer conditions could be with us as early as Thursday. So any of this snow that is daring to try to stick, whether it's on the range or in the UP, it likely will be melted over the weekend as temperatures go towards the 50s. How long can that dare last in November? I'll show you with my 7-day forecast in a few more minutes.
50s. Music to my ears, Dave. Well, still to come on Live at 5. Good news for hunters this season. We'll bring you those details as we take you around the Northland after the break.
Hi, Russell Nicolay, Nicolay Law Office. If you've been seriously injured, we can help. For the last 14 years, my office has been helping folks like you and holding insurance companies accountable. My award-winning legal team can help you and your family. Remember, if you've been injured, get Nicolay. We win or you don't pay.
Hey, Watson, the game's afoot.
We got the Shining at 30,000 feet. We did the chopping.
This is Vegas Tower. Come in.
Unfortunately, there's nobody alive to answer.
I wouldn't say that. You asked us. You two believe this guy framed David Hodges.
It's a theory.
We're wrong if that's the ballgame. We can't hide anymore, Gil.
I think they finally made a mistake.
And your CSI Vegas, Wednesday, 10 on Central on CBS and streaming on Paramount Plus.
Hi, Gail King here, inviting you to join us every morning right here on CBS. We'll have the important stories and the interviews, all the news that matters really, and best of all, we'll have a good time together. We like to do that. And now you can find us anytime you want on the new Paramount Plus app. So we'll see you every morning right here on CBS. I thought that one was pretty good.
Okay, Dad. 1, 2, 3. You saved me. Dad?
Are you okay?
I'm fine, dear. You're
hero needs you now, and AARP is here to help. Find the care guides you need at aarp.org/caregiving.
If you love them enough to crawl into a play place to get them to come down, then surely you'll check nhtsa.gov/the right seat to make sure they're in the right car seat.
You're watching CBS3 Live at 5 with Kristen Vaki, Briggs LaSavage, and weather with meteorologist Dave Anderson on Live Local CBS3.
Welcome back to the CBS3 News Live at 5. Here's a live look from the Duluth Shipping Canal. The Twin Ports will bid farewell to its special guests from the Bahamas as the Salina cargo ship will depart in just over 20 minutes, carrying a shipment of wheat. Dave will be in with this week's full forecast in just a few minutes, but first, Briggs will give us a look around the region.
A Stone Lake bar is fighting a deadly cancer, and Ashland's Classic Film Festival is making its return. All of that and more as we take you around the Northland, city by city. We start off tonight on the Iron Range, where the Big Buck Contest is back. Hunters in the United Way of northeastern Minnesota's service area can submit photos of their bucks this month with a chance to win a lifetime Minnesota hunting license. There will be 3 winners, a man, a woman, and 1 kid 10 or older. The United Way of northeastern Minnesota's service area includes the Range, Koochiching, and Lake of the Woods counties. Hunters have until Saturday to register. Next, we head over to Stone Lake, Wisconsin, where a local bar is doing their part to fight lung cancer. The Whistlepunk Bar is participating in Longevity's donation drive. They're hosting the Whistlepunk Warriors 5K and fundraiser. It's a special cause for the owners who lost their mother after a 3.5-year battle with cancer. If you would like to donate the Whistlepunk Warriors or donate to Longevity's crucial lung cancer research, then you can head over to our website. And we wrap up tonight in Ashland, Wisconsin, where the Bay Area Film Society is hosting its 14th annual Big Water Film Festival. Though the festival was canceled last year, organizers went with a virtual event this year. The festival starts tomorrow and runs through Saturday. Movie lovers can find this year's featured films on the Big Water Film Festival's Facebook page. You can also watch all those movies for free. If there's something going on in your neighborhood that you think we should know about, send us an email, and it might be featured as we go around the Northland, city by city.
Still to come on Live at 5, a CDC advisory committee is deciding on whether to approve Pfizer's pediatric COVID-19 vaccine for kids ages 5 to 11. We'll have all those details in a few minutes.
Today's high temperature of 38 degrees is 6 degrees cooler than normal. Certainly supportive of snow, and so some towns got some, and a little more could come tonight. But if you're a snow fan hoping to hold on to the snow, it may go fairly quickly because a warm-up could be with us by later in the week. We'll talk about when and for how long and how warm coming up after our break.
If you love them enough to crawl into a play place to get them to come down, then surely you'll check nhtsa.gov/the right seat to make sure they're in the right car seat.
At the DTA, we're making your bus ride even safer. You can now buy your ticket anytime, anywhere, using the new MyDTA app for mobile fare payment and trip planning. Contactless, safe, convenient.
It's starting to get cold outside. Northwest Outlet is ready with fresh new inventory to keep you warm this fall and winter from Carhartt. Men and women know when they shop Northwest Outlet for Carhartt, they know their stuff. They carry more styles, more sizes, more colors, and more flame-retardant Carhartt than anyone in the Northland. Jackets, jeans, shirts, gloves, bibs, hats, belts, socks, and sweats. We've got them all. Check Northwest Outlet's gigantic selection of long underwear, along with Carhartt work boots, rugged but comfortable. Northwest Outlet, home of Carhartt Superior.
I'm Nora O'Donnell in our nation's capital. We're here at the White House with the President of the United States.
Thanks for having me. I appreciate it.
The Supreme Court building behind me is once again at the center of a monumental battle. Tonight, a congressional investigation sparked by reporting from CBS News. Our exclusive access to the presidential platform. We will witness yet another moment in history.
The CBS Evening News with Nora O'Donnell from Washington, D.C.
Mining. It's a part of Minnesota's history that affects everyone in the Northland still to this day. Join me, Kristen Vaki, every Tuesday for Eye on Mining.
Brought to you by Range Regional Airport. Watch Eye on Mining with Kristen Vaki every Tuesday at 10. Only on live, local CBS 3.
Why addressing accessible voting is important for the state of Minnesota.
The recent snow is making things slippery in the UP. I'll talk about upcoming snow chances that may come aboard.
Tonight at 6 on CBS 3. Get your news on the go. The CBS 3 mobile app. Now, the CBS 3 Duluth Weather Max forecast with meteorologist Dave Anderson.
Well, that snow in the UP did add up, and folks on the Iron Ranges said, we'll try to catch up. Really just a dusting to about an inch or so for Rangers, but it was a little bit thicker for the UP. These numbers come in courtesy of National Weather Service Marquette, who says on the fringes of the system, like over towards Ironwood through Gogebic County, about 2 to 4 inches, 2.5, for example, in Ironwood itself. The heart of the UP, though, did pull 4 to 8. And if you're a snow fan, maybe over towards the north of Iron River, Michigan, not Wisconsin, you might run into some snow that may stick around for a while. But for the rest of us, including the spillover into Iron County, Wisconsin, that may go away fairly rapidly because it may stay cool tomorrow, but by midweek then, and later week especially, we go back into the 50s through the weekend. That'll probably melt off most of what we received. So not yet, snow fans, but you know it's coming, and we'll fire up the toboggans and the snow machines and have our usual 6 or so months worth of winter-style fun. Right now, cooler fun up towards the airport in Duluth with a reading of 35. 57% is our relative humidity with a northwest wind going 9 miles per hour. Air pressure 30.34 inches of mercury. And that's just low enough aloft, of course, for the clouds from a trough of low pressure to keep a chance for snow going for a few more hours tonight. Current temps, low 30s in the Upper Peninsula. We have mid to upper 30s in northwestern Wisconsin, for example. 36 is what's happening in Hayward. We have 38 in Superior. Northern Minnesota is watching temperatures run a range of roughly 30 to 37 degrees, with the cool spot being Ely, the warm spot being Moose Lake. Temperatures in the 30s to about 40 will be with us again tomorrow, but then by Thursday, we'll start to perk back into the 50s, at least for a couple of days. Doppler map right now shows a trough of lower pressure still continuing through the UP, over the lake, and up into the tip of the arrowhead here for Minnesota. So it's creating clouds and still some light snow that's popping up for our friends in the arrowhead of Minnesota, and a little bit here from the Bayfield Peninsula towards the Upper Peninsula too. So you just might get another inch on top of the lake effect you've already received. But then for tomorrow, our low pressure system should go, and higher pressure from Canada comes to call, leading with its cool sector. So temperatures will be chilly, but the sun will come back out. And then that gives way on Thursday to the back half of the low, bringing in a southerly wind, a southwesterly wind, in fact, to make it more mild and try to clear it up even more. So that's what sets us up for the Minnesota deer opener. For the weekend, we'll have a sunnier sky, temperatures warmer than normal. Probably any tracking snow that tries to stick around will disappear as rapidly as a buck out in the woods when you make one wrong step. That's the way hunting's always gone for me. No animals are ever harmed in my attempt at taking part in Northland tradition. So a perfect splitting of the difference, I guess, because camp life sure is fun. Well, tonight, low temps in Minnesota drop into the 20s. 20% chance for a few more flurries for Minnesotans. Into Wisconsin and the UP, it doubles to a 40% chance. Low temps in the 20s there as well. For tomorrow, daytime high temps, keeping in mind the normal highs around 45 or so. We go 37 to 40 in Wisconsin and Michigan, but it will become mostly sunny as that high advances. Minnesotans get sunshine too, with highs, from about 35 to 40. But we keep adding numbers onto our thermometer readings here. Thursday, 45 and sunny. Friday, 50 and sunny. 53 degrees on Saturday. It'll be hard not to take a nap out in the deer stand for Minnesota Firearms deer hunters. And I know I've done that a few times, and that's probably why I could just sit out with a hockey stick and get the same results.
You'd barely even need a blanket out there with that forecast we're looking at.
And at least it won't be as warm as a couple years back when the Minnesota deer opener was in the 70s.
Oof. Wow.
Yeah, hunters don't like that. Thanks, Dave. A CDC advisory committee is backing Pfizer's pediatric COVID-19 vaccine for children ages 5 to 11. Once the CDC director signs off, it will be the first COVID shot available to patients so young. Doctors and advocates say the shots could help lessen the burden of the virus on kids, even beyond preventing severe illness and death.
The vaccine met all safety data expectations as well as immunobridging criteria. 90.7 efficacy was observed.
A recent survey shows only 27% of parents will vaccinate their kids right away, with a third stating they will wait to see immediate effects.
Health officials in Wisconsin say they could be ready to vaccinate younger children as early as the end of the week. While waiting for that full approval from the CDC, officials in Ashland County are now laying the groundwork to distribute the vaccine. Health department officials say they plan to use healthcare providers, pharmacies, and local school districts to help. For Wisconsin, the final word on how to administer the vaccine to kids will come from the state's health department after they review the CDC's findings.
Wisconsin DHS will review that data and provide updated policies and procedures so that local health departments and any providers might be able to proceed with administration of the vaccine from there.
Ashland County officials say they've ordered 300 more doses. They say that will be enough to vaccinate young kids in the county if they're vaccinated at the same rate as adults. Officials say a parent will need to sign a consent form for their children, but the vaccines will be provided for free.
Governor Tim Walz announced a new alternative care site in Minnesota. It's part of his plan to relieve hospitals from pandemic overload. Benedictine St. Gertrude's, a senior living home in Shakopee, will take up to 30 patients from metro area hospitals. This comes as staffing and bed shortages make it difficult to transfer long-term care patients throughout the state. The site will treat patients who no longer need hospital-level care but cannot go home yet.
Still to come, after being immobile for a full 3 minutes, a hockey player in Blaine had their life saved by a Twin Cities college student. Stay with us to hear the heartwarming story coming up right after the break.
Real encounters with God are life-changing. Join us Sundays at 11:30 for The Message of Good Hope and learn how you can reach your highest potential through a relationship with Christ. Only on the Duluth CW.
We're all just trying to keep things running for those who rely on us. That's why we don't have time to be sick with the flu.
We don't have time for delays.
Ready! We don't have time for spills. Next.
We don't have time for setbacks. Let's be real.
Getting the flu shot
helps you fight the flu. Get a flu shot for yourself and those around you, too.
I remember my son was going to grow up without a father.
I didn't think someone at 23 could be diagnosed with breast cancer.
I was probably the healthiest I had been in my life.
Early detection of a melanoma saved my life.
I survived testicular cancer because of early detection.
I survived cancer not once but twice because of early detection.
During the pandemic, you may have delayed or canceled routine cancer screenings. It's time to get those appointments back on the books. Early detection saves lives.
This message brought to you by the National Association of Broadcasters and this station.
We've got new information now explaining why.
Why should ordinary Americans care what's happening here in Ukraine?
Deep divisions remain.
Elizabeth, why did they kick you out?
They are expecting public unrest.
Why are they releasing these videos now?
Police are pushing us back.
We found one hell of a story of survival.
That's why you have to do your own research to get to the truth.
Calling all Bulldogs. Do you consider yourself a diehard UMD Bulldog fan? Send a picture of you or you and your crew all decked out in your Bulldog attire for a chance to be the My9 Sports Bulldog Fan of the Week. Follow the My9 Sports Facebook page and post your pictures there to be entered into our weekly random drawings. Each Fan of the Week will be showcased in our My9 Sports UMD Athletics Broadcast of the Week. The My9 Sports Bulldog Fan of the Week is brought to you by the Duluth Tap Exchange.
Doesn't really matter who you are, where you live, you have a 20 family.
People reach a crisis moment and they don't see any other way out.
Suicide is the fourth leading cause of death for people ages 25 to 34. People struggle with it every day.
Hi, I'm Representative Tom Tiffany. If you or your loved one struggles with their mental health and or thoughts of suicide, no, you are not alone. Reach out for help and talk to someone.
This message brought to you by the National Association of Broadcasters and this station.
You're scared that Prince Shaw
or your family are gonna fall apart without you. You don't always have to be the hero, Spencer.
You were gonna leave LA sooner or later. You sure you ready for this?
Something about the dream scares me.
Maybe people like us weren't supposed to have it all. At some point, I gotta take a leap and find out, right?
All American. New episode this Monday at 8/7 Central, only on the CW.
Watching a high school hockey game can leave a lot of parents in the stands anxious. Many of us here in the Northland know that. But imagine seeing your player collapse on the ice and not move for 3 minutes.
Terrifying, and that's what happened at the Super Rink in Blaine Sunday during a girls' hockey game. Now, as John Lauritsen with our sister station in Minneapolis reports, a college student is being credited with saving that player's life.
Somebody said she went down, and then she tried to get up, and then she collapsed.
It was the championship game of the Premier Prep League, and in the middle of it all, Coach Bill Manuel saw a player fall awkwardly to the ice, not because of a collision, but because she had stopped breathing. Zoe Sternberg, a student at St. Catherine University, was the EMT on site and rushed out to the girl. She couldn't find a pulse, so she began CPR.
I'm thinking, okay, she's going to come around, and she's not coming around,
But Zoe didn't give up. After what seemed like an eternity, even though it was about 3 minutes, the girl finally opened her eyes.
And then all of a sudden she took this deep breath, and her eyes just, I'll never forget that look of, oh my God, what happened? I remember looking across at Zoe, the EMT, and I just looked at her and said, you just saved this girl's life.
In a statement Monday, Zoe said, I am happy that the athlete is okay and that I had the training to be able to help her. It was only my second day on the job, and I happened to be in the right place at the right time.
I think the biggest thing is she kept kind of everyone calm.
Assistant arena manager Courtney Stevens says that the arena was as quiet as she's ever heard it while Zoe was performing CPR. Courtney says it's a good reminder that anything can happen during a hockey game, and having the right people on hand is key, even though you hope you never have to use them. The arena also has 3 AEDs, and while someone brought one onto the ice, it wasn't needed.
Oh, it's huge for peace of mind because things can happen to players, things can happen to parents, spectators, even people here.
The player who collapsed is a senior in high school. She was taken to the hospital and kept overnight. Doctors were performing tests on her heart, but she is expected to be okay.
We've got a packed broadcast for you tonight. If you feel like your orders are taking a long time to get to you, you're not alone. We're going to follow a product all the way from China to here in the U.S. The CBS Evening News is just minutes away.
CBS3 closed captioning is brought to you by Essentia Health Pharmacies, keeping things safe, simple, and convenient through mail, local delivery, drive-through, and curbside pickup services.
Come on down to Hannah Johnson Fabrics and Sewing Studio in Lakeside Marketplace. Don't know where to start? Visit our new sewing classroom and studio. Whether you're a brand new sewist or you've sewn for years, we have a class for you at Hannah Johnson Fabrics. We'll help you get your projects going with our huge selection of high-quality designer and specialty fabrics. Our friendly staff will help you find exactly what you need. Come see us in person or register for classes online at hannahjohnsonfabrics.com.
Whatever your water worry, Culligan Water can help. From value-priced softeners to the world's best and even salt-free. No one has more solutions than Culligan to customize the best filtration for your home. The only water that comes with a van. Contact Culligan, the local water experts.
Visit Vendor Shoes and step into the European styles of Rieker and Ramonte. Try on a pair of these oh-so-cute shoes and boots and feel the comfort for yourself. Hurry, these styles won't last long. Vendor Shoes. We're located in Grand Rapids, Hibbing, and Duluth.
With the giving season just around the corner, it's the perfect time to add a new member to your family. That's why several area animal shelters are coming together for the Subaru Love a Pet adoption event at Miller Hill Subaru. November 6th is Catter Day, featuring all-day cat adoptions. Sunday, November 7th is Pup Day, with all-day dog adoptions. There will be holiday pet photos and a free microchip with an item off our wish list. Join us at Miller Hill Subaru for this exciting event.
I'm Nora O'Donnell in our nation's capital. We're here at the White House with the President of the United States.
Thanks for having me.
our exclusive access to the presidential platform. We will witness yet another moment in history.
The CBS Evening News with Norah O'Donnell from Washington, D.C.
If you love them enough to crawl into a play place to get them to come down, then surely you'll check NHTSA.gov/the right seat to make sure they're in the right car seat.
Welcome back to the CBS3 News Live at 5. Here's a live look from Canal Park on this Tuesday evening. Let's take a look back at today's top story and see what's coming up at 6.
Tonight at 5, we learned about the city council seats up for election today as ballots are cast across the city of Duluth. The seats include the 2 at-large seats as well as the District 2 seat. If you haven't voted yet, you can find a list of polling locations on our website. You can also find the election results there after polls close.
And tonight at 6, we'll find out more about the accessibility issues surrounding local polling locations. We'll hear from members of various organizations, such as the Minnesota Disability Council, about what the existing problems are statewide and what improvements can be made to polling places and voting booths coming up tonight at 6.
That's your news at 5. The CBS Evening News is next.
We'll see you back here at 6.